Welcome to Vision Vested, where we explore the hidden depths of human psychology and the complex reasons behind our social choices. Have you ever wondered why some intelligent people choose to step back from society, preferring the quiet comfort of their solitude? It is a common misconception that withdrawing from social circles implies a hatred for humanity or a lack of social skills. In reality, the decision to be alone often stems from a complex interplay of biological mechanisms and profound psychological sensitivity. For many, solitude is not an escape from reality, but a necessary sanctuary to preserve their energy and their mental clarity. Today, we will dissect the true reasons why you might feel the urge to disappear, and why that is completely okay. We will look at how your brain processes social signals and why superficial interactions can feel physically painful to your system. This journey requires us to dive deep into the subconscious mind to understand the hidden forces driving our need for isolation. Let us begin by examining the first major factor, which is an intense level of sensitivity and perception regarding human behavior. Many people who withdraw are actually highly perceptive individuals who can detect the slightest shift in tone or facial expression. They possess an uncanny ability to see through the social masks that people wear to hide their true intentions and feelings. When you can hear the hidden aggression in a polite compliment, social interactions become a minefield of exhausting mental processing tasks. This hyper-awareness makes casual small talk feel incredibly draining because you are processing layers of information that others simply ignore. You notice the fake laughter, the forced interest, and the subtle judgments, which makes the whole experience feel like a performance. It is not that you dislike these people, but rather that the lack of authenticity triggers a desire to retreat immediately. For the sensitive soul, navigating a world full of pretense is like walking through a loud room with no ear protection. The solitude you seek is simply a way to turn down the volume of the world so you can hear yourself. You prefer the steady light of truth found in silence over the flashy but empty explosions of superficial social gatherings. This deep need for authenticity means you cannot tolerate relationships that are built on shaky foundations or convenient social lies. Now, let us transition to the biological aspect, because your body plays a massive role in how you perceive connection. Research by scientists like Dr. John Cacioppo has revealed that isolation actually changes the physical structure and function of the brain. Evolutionarily, being alone was dangerous, so our brains developed a mechanism to become hyper-vigilant when we feel socially isolated. This survival mechanism causes the lonely brain to scan for threats everywhere, interpreting neutral signals as potential dangers or rejections. For example, a delayed reply to a text message is no longer just a delay, it is perceived as deliberate rejection. Your brain begins to interpret neutral facial expressions as hostile, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where you withdraw to stay safe. This state of constant low-level fight or flight makes social interaction feel incredibly risky and physically exhausting for your body. Your morning cortisol levels rise, and your sleep becomes fragmented because your brain is still on guard duty for predators. Just like a hedgehog raises its quills, you psychologically curl inward to protect your soft underbelly from perceived social attacks. This biological reaction explains why, even when you crave connection, you might instinctively push people away when they get too close. It is crucial to understand that this is a hardware issue in your biology, not a defect in your character. Recognizing this mechanism is the first step to overriding it and calming your brain's ancient and outdated survival alarms. By calming this biological response, you can begin to see social cues accurately again, without the filter of fear. You can slowly teach your nervous system that it is safe to lower the drawbridge and let people in. But before you can do that, we must address the third major reason for your withdrawal, the exhaustion of performance. For many solitary individuals, social interaction is not a natural flow, but a carefully choreographed performance that drains their batteries. You spend your time calculating the right amount of eye contact and laughing at jokes that you do not find funny. This phenomenon, often called masking, requires a massive amount of cognitive fuel to maintain for any length of time. You feel like a puppet master of your own body, constantly pulling strings to appear normal, approachable, and engaged. By the end of the day, you are not just tired physically, you are suffering from a profound, soul-level exhaustion. The moment you close your front door is the first moment you can finally stop acting and just simply exist. This need to perform often stems from a belief that your true self is not interesting or acceptable enough for others. We live in a society that rewards extroversion and constant enthusiasm, forcing quieter souls to fake it to fit in. But the cost of this acting is too high, leading you to choose the peace of solitude over the labor of pretending. In your solitude, you do not have to smile when you are sad or speak when you have nothing to say. You can finally drop the heavy weight of expectations and float in the buoyancy of your own authentic presence. This relief is addictive, and it is a major reason why, once you start withdrawing, it is hard to go back. However, we must ask ourselves, where did this need to hide our true selves come from in the first place? This leads us to the fourth factor. The origins of your withdrawal often lie in your earliest experiences of rejection. Many who prefer solitude today were children who learned that opening up led to being misunderstood, mocked, or ignored. Perhaps you shared a vulnerable thought and were told you were too sensitive or too dramatic by the adults around you. These experiences laid the foundation for a defense system that says, "If I do not let them in, they cannot hurt me." Withdrawal became your primary strategy for emotional safety, a fortress you built to keep the pain of rejection at bay. Even as an adult, that wounded inner child is still steering the ship, steering you away from potential connection. You might subconsciously believe that people will eventually leave or disappoint you, so you choose to leave them first. This preemptive strike gives you a sense of control over your relationships, preventing anyone from having the power to hurt you. But living in a fortress can get cold, and the walls that keep pain out also keep love and warmth out. It is important to acknowledge these past wounds without letting them dictate your entire future or your potential for happiness. You are no longer that helpless child in the playground. You now have the agency to choose who deserves your energy. Healing begins when you realize that your past does not have to be a life sentence of solitary confinement. So, how do we reframe this? How do we turn this withdrawal from a weakness into a source of strength? We must shift our perspective to see that your time alone is not an escape, but a period of preparation. Just as a caterpillar must withdraw into a cocoon to transform, you are using this time to become who you are. Solitude provides the fertile ground necessary for creativity, self-reflection, and deep personal growth that is impossible in a crowd. You are learning to be your own best friend, to validate your own feelings without needing external approval or applause. When you stop performing for others, you finally have the chance to meet the person you actually are underneath the mask. This period of withdrawal is a filtering process, allowing you to decide what and who is truly worth your time. You are no longer willing to settle for fool's gold. You are waiting for the genuine connection that feeds your soul. It is better to be alone than to be with people who make you feel lonely, unseen, or undervalued. Your solitude is making you stronger, more self-reliant, and more capable of bringing a whole self to a future relationship. When you do choose to reconnect, it will not be out of desperation, but out of a genuine desire to share. You are deepening your roots so that you can weather any storm, grounded in the knowledge of your own worth. Remember, the most profound conversations and the greatest ideas often come from the quietest moments of our lives. Your withdrawal is not a permanent state, but a season of winter that prepares the ground for a vibrant spring. Trust in this process, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be right now for your evolution. You are not broken, you are simply a deep feeler living in a world that often prefers to stay on the surface. Cherish your depth, protect your energy, and know that your tribe is out there, waiting for someone exactly like you. Until then, enjoy the company of the one person who will never leave you, your own wonderful and complex self. Embrace your solitude not as a prison, but as a palace where you are the ruler of your own peace. Let us explore further how this time alone can be used to cultivate skills that will eventually enhance your relationships. When you are alone, you have the time to master skills, read books, and develop a rich inner landscape. This richness makes you a more interesting person, so when you do speak, people are compelled to listen to you. You learn to enjoy your own company, which removes the desperate need for others to fill a void in you. When you are full of yourself in the best way, you can overflow into the lives of others without being depleted. You begin to appreciate quality over quantity, realizing that one deep conversation is worth 100 superficial cocktail parties. Your standards rise, and you become a curator of your social circle rather than a passive participant in it. You learn the power of the word no, realizing that protecting your peace is more important than pleasing others. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are gates to show people how to respect your sacred space. In the silence, you can finally hear the whisper of your intuition, which is often drowned out by social noise. This intuition becomes your compass, guiding you toward people and situations that are truly aligned with your soul's purpose. You stop following the herd and start charting your own path, even if it is a path less traveled. The path of the solitary seeker is often challenging, but it leads to destinations of insight that crowds never reach. As you become more comfortable with yourself, you might notice that your biological threat response begins to calm down. The constant scanning for danger subsides because you know you are safe within yourself, regardless of external circumstances. Your sleep improves, your anxiety lessens, and your energy levels begin to restore themselves to their natural capacity. With a full battery, you might find that you actually have the capacity to engage with the world again, but this time it will be on your terms, with your boundaries, and with a clear understanding of your limits. You will no longer need to wear a mask because you have accepted that your true face is enough. The exhaustion of performance fades away when you stop acting and start simply being present in the moment. Authenticity is energy efficient. It requires zero effort to be who you are, whereas pretending takes everything you have. You will find that the right people are attracted to your authenticity, while the wrong ones simply fall away. This natural filtering process saves you from the heartbreak of investing in relationships that were never meant to last. You will eventually find those rare connections where silence is not awkward, but a shared language of comfort. These are the connections worth waiting for, the ones that add to your energy rather than subtracting from it. Until you find them, continue to water your own garden so that when butterflies come, they have a place to land. Do not rush the process of healing your past wounds. Give your inner child the time they need to trust. Time is your ally, and every moment spent in solitude is an investment in a more stable and happy future. You are rewriting the narrative of your life, from one of rejection and fear to one of choice and power. The person in the mirror is the only one you need to please, and their opinion is the only one that matters. Keep your inner fire burning, protect it from the winds of superficiality, and let it warm you from the inside. Embrace the full spectrum of your experience, the loneliness, the peace, the silence, and the eventual return to connection. Your sensitivity is a gift, not a curse. It allows you to experience the world in high definition and color. While others see a gray world, you see the nuances, the textures, and the hidden beauty that they miss. Use this gift to create, to understand, and eventually to connect deeply with others who share your unique vision. Real connection is electric, it is vital, and it is worth waiting for, no matter how long it takes. So do not feel guilty for your withdrawal. See it as a waiting room for the train that is meant for you. When you are ready, you will step out of your solitude and into a world that you have chosen for yourself. And that world will be richer, deeper, and more authentic because you took the time to build it properly. Society may not always understand your methods, but they cannot deny the peace and wisdom that you radiate. Your calm presence can actually become a healing force for the chaotic world around you, anchoring others in peace. Be the rock in the river, the calm in the storm, and the silence in the noise. When you act from a place of fullness, your kindness is genuine, not a transaction expecting something in return. This is the ultimate goal, to be in the world but not consumed by it, to be connected but free. Freedom is the ultimate prize of the solitary path, the freedom to be exactly who you were created to be. So if you are watching this video alone right now, know that you are in excellent company with yourself. There are millions of us who feel the same way, connected by our shared need for depth and truth. We are a silent tribe, scattered across the globe, but united in our understanding of what truly matters in life. You are never truly alone when you are connected to the collective human experience of searching for meaning. Take your time, heal your wounds, rest your weary mind, and prepare for the next chapter of your life. The sun will rise again, and when it does, you will be ready to step into the light. Until then, honor your need for withdrawal as a sacred rite of passage, not a symptom of sickness. Your bloom is coming, and it will be all the more beautiful for the long winter you have endured. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and never apologize for the way you need to navigate this world. You are a unique piece of the puzzle, and the picture is not complete without your specific shape and color. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the psychology of solitude and the wisdom of withdrawal. If this video resonated with you, please take a moment to reflect on your own journey of self-discovery. Consider subscribing to Vision Vested if you want to continue exploring the fascinating landscape of the human mind. We are dedicated to bringing you content that validates your experience and empowers you to live your truth. Share this video with a friend who might be struggling with their own need for isolation and understanding. We would love to hear your story in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else feel less alone. A like on this video helps us reach more sensitive souls who are looking for their tribe in this digital world. Remember that you are valid, your feelings are real, and your presence on this earth is a gift. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep your vision clear and your heart open to yourself. This has been Vision Vested. Goodbye for now.